Hey everyone, Kegan here, and today we're going to go through some more minor features that were added to the Wheelhouse platform recently. I'm also going to be adding in a new piece to the video, and we are going to go over a use case for a feature that's actually been out on the platform for some time now. I'll start doing this for every minor updates video where we revisit a feature and then go through a specific use case for that feature. And always, like always, you can check out the updates we've put out on our changelog. That changelog is now updated in the top right portion of your account under support, and then the changelog section here. So you can go to this page and see a detailed written report of all of these features that we're going to talk about today. So let's get into it. The first update is regarding the Teams feature. So in the top right here, if you click your name and then go to Teams, this is where you can add team members. Remember, you can invite team members to your Wheelhouse team as long as they have an existing Wheelhouse account with their email address. Once you invite them, you can actually auto-assign them as one of three roles. So we have a viewer role, which allows a team member to view listings but not edit any settings, an editor role, which allows team members to view and edit settings for listings, and a manager role, which is an editor role, so they can view and edit listings, but they can also edit billing statuses for listings as well and turn on and off pricing. So, for example, they could edit the base price for a listing, they could move a listing to a free tier from a paid tier, and they could also turn off pricing for a listing in a paid tier. The update here is that you can auto-assign team members to be added to any new listings for these roles. So if I assigned my personal account to be a manager, then any new listings I added to this admin account would automatically be assigned to my personal account with the manager role. So really big update there, should save you a lot of time not having to assign each new listing to your team members. The next update is a pretty straightforward one, but you will notice it on any of the portfolio pages. I'll just go to portfolio settings. As long as you have the name column added to these pages, when you hover over the name cell for a listing, you should now see these three little icons that show up just like this. If I click one of these, it will take me to that section. For example, the first one here says open calendar. The next one here says open settings. The next one says open performance. If I click open calendar, it will take me directly to the individual listing calendar. If I go back and click open settings, it will take me straight to the individual listing settings page. So pretty nice, easy way to access those different pages for the individual listing. The next update has to do with the performance page. So if I go over here, you will now see an option in the top right to configure budget. You can configure a budget for an individual listing. So for example, this listing doesn't have a budget, but if I click the edit button here, it'll give me that option to edit the budget for the remainder of the year. So 2024, I could go to 2025 as well and edit the budget. You can go to individual months and create your specific budgets per month. So if those differ here like this, you can do that. You can also just edit a total budget for the year. So let's see, my total budget for the whole year was just 75K. It would then evenly split that up for the months here. I could still go in back and edit those if I wanted, and it will edit the total for me, and I could save it. You can also filter down here to a specific group. So let's just use the property Shroot Farms here. I could select all listings for this property, for example, and maybe they all have the same budget. So I can go in the top right now, click budget. I can, again, similar to last time, give them all the same total budget, or I can go in for specific months and update those budgets for the specific months here. And I can save, and it'll update for all listings at once. Once you've created a budget, you can go back to the main page here, and you will see a budget line that shows up here. And so, for example, you can track your total revenue for the group of listings you're looking at. So in this case, I'm still looking at Shrew Farms. I can track the monthly total revenue compared to my budget and actually see that on this chart here. And the last minor feature update we'll go over today is on the sets page. So from here, if you have an active dynamic set, you can now share that set with a member of your team. So if you have someone that's on your team, you can go to the set, click the three little dots here, click share, and then select that team member and share. It may take a few minutes, but once you wait a couple minutes and have that teammate refresh their sets page, that should show up here for them. All right, that's it for the minor feature updates. And like I said, if you want a more detailed breakdown of those features, you can head over to the support icon up in the top right and then go to the changelog. Now we're going to get into the use case portion of the video. And today we're going to go over segments. So I'm going to hop over to the portfolio settings page, and let's just quickly talk about what segments are in Wheelhouse, and then we'll get into how to use them. So segments are located up in the top left here. I've created a bunch on my account. You won't see these, but you'll want to create your own, and I will show you how to do so in a second. But let me just show you a couple of examples of segments that you could use. The first one I'm going to do is just from the idea of grouping your properties together. So for example, I have a segment that is made up of two filters here. So segments are keying off of whatever filters you've selected and saved for that segment. In this case, I have selected 1 bedrooms and my market as Nashville. So this is my Nashville 1 bedroom segment. And I also have a couple here in Nashville, the 2-bed segment and the 3 and 4 bed segment. If I didn't have these segments, what this would look like when I want to filter down to those groups of properties would be, I would go here, select 1 beds, and then I would find the market filter and then go to Nashville, right? Not a big deal, but that was a few more clicks, and I could save a lot more time if I save each of my segments or my groups as segments. So I recommend, if you're finding yourself using the same filters over and over and having to click a lot, save them as a segment. And how you do it is you select your filters, and then in the top left, click segment, and then click save as segment. You'll want to name it, and I recommend adding a prefix. In this case, I would say maybe something like market. I would just shorten it, and then name it something like, in this case, Nashville 1 beds, right? You would click save. I've already made this, so I'm not going to save it. But that's the first basic example, which is grouping your portfolio by segments. What's great about this is the market and bedroom attributes for a listing are automatically accounted for by Wheelhouse when you add a new listing onto your PMS and then send it to Wheelhouse, right? So let's say this listing up here at the top is brand new for me, and I have no settings in place, right? I do, but let's pretend these are all blank, and I want to onboard this property to this group. I could then just select a similar property within the segment, say copy settings, choose what settings I want to copy over. Let's say it's max price, and min stays in this case. Click next, select that new property, click next again, apply those settings, and then quickly onboard that property to Wheelhouse for this group, right? So really, really easy to onboard using segments. The other use case for segments would be using the dynamic filters. So under filter here, there's 2 sections at the bottom, historical and future metrics. All of these are your basic metrics, like occupancy, average daily rate. And these are all calculated every day. So on the 24-hour sync with PMS, we pull in new reservation data, new calendar data, and we do calculations for all of these metrics here, right? So if you make a segment based off of those filters, like this here, then every day this is automatically recalculated, and you have a dynamic group of listings based off of metrics, right? So in this case, I have adjusted occupancy the next 21 days under 50%, so 0 to 50 here. and then min price occurrence next 21 days between 10 and 21, meaning all listings that in the next 3 weeks are hitting their minimum prices at least half the time, right? So this can be seen better if I go to portfolio calendar. We can now see, let me turn off the demand heat map so you can see it a little bit better. We can now see all these listings are hitting their minimums quite a bit. Maybe my minimums are too high. I also have fixed rates here. So maybe I need to make some adjustments to the minimums. I know I can go lower. So I'm going to select all my properties. And then for the next 3 weeks here, I'm going to opt to bring down my minimum prices by 10% using the bulk adjustment feature here and quickly update those. Then I can come back in a week, choose a segment again. It's been updated for me, and then rinse and repeat and do that same process. Thanks for watching today, y'all. If you have any questions, let us know. Remember, we always have a 24/7 chat support on the website. So if you need anything, just reach out and let us know. Thanks.